What's up, everybody? It's Soren Baker here on Unique Access Entertainment. As always, please hit that subscribe button. It's right down there and it's free. Now, today we have the honor and the privilege of being joined by Mike G from the Jungle Brothers. Thank you for coming through, sir.
Hey, thank you, son. What's happening, boss?
Man, just very, very excited. Very excited. So many questions I've been wanting to ask as a longtime fan and listener since you guys since '87. So, one thing I wanted to get right out the gate was uh, Mike G. G is not your last initial, is it? So I was always curious how and why the Mike G came about.
You know what? So coming up, people used to say, "Oh, you G'ing off," like you getting it. Not saying that you're getting it because that's kind of like a new term, but people used to say, "Yo, you G'ing off," and somebody said, "Yo, Mike G," and it just kind of stuck. And it was always the thing, like, "Oh, you got to have an alias." So I just kind of ran with it and left it at that. It flowed, and I just rolled with it.
Okay, gotcha. And speaking of aliases, the first time I remember hearing you guys was the Jimbrowski with a using a different name for something. So, and that was a long running theme throughout your guys' career. But
Mhm.
on as a single and as a 12-inch song, how and why did that come about?
So, wow, so that's a good one. So back when we first started, that was probably about like 85, getting in the studio around that time. We had been to a couple of different studios. We finally wound up getting into Tony D's studio out in Brooklyn, Coney Island, Brooklyn, and we were just comfortable trying to work on a couple of different songs. We had a couple of like freestyle routines, but we were just trying to loosen up. Jimbrowski was a term from one of my he's actually my cousin, but I call him my uncle, Mr. Ness. And
Hmm.
he was a real smooth cat, always dressed sharp, always had the right attire. And he talked, he would be like, "Yeah, girls is on the gym bras. The young ladies love the gym bras." You know what I'm saying?
Now,
And
Mr. Ness, that's not, is that Scorpio or no
no,
Scorpio?
no, no. This is
Okay. A
my
different
actual
Mr. Ness. Okay.
yeah, yeah. Well, his name was Ernest Morris Jr.
Okay.
Um, and Red was in the studio with us at the time, and it was me, Bam, and Red, and we just started joking around with it, and we just wrote up a routine about it, just joking around, just kind of getting comfortable with it, and that's how it came about for the most part. you know, it was a term that one of my uncles used, and we took it to the next level.
Okay. And with that too, I remember on the 12-inch vinyl, unlike on Straight Out the Jungle, it says it was produced by Grand Wizard Tony D. So did Tony D or you guys produce it? I was always a little unclear on Jimbrowski.
Well, I guess he produced it in the sense of we did it at his studio and he oversaw everything. But Bam really put the beat together. We both arranged it, wrote our rhymes and arranged it. Red did a final mix, so but yeah, that's another good one too. I hadn't never looked back at that. I remember the term. I remember uh there was a little bit of talk about that, like, "Oh, you produced it, this, that, and the other." But no, Tony D, he kind of oversaw everything because in essence, it was really our first time in a studio. Um, but it was really produced by Jungle Brothers.
Okay. That's what made more sense to me, but like I said, I've got so many questions for you. I've been wondering about all these years. And is that the same Tony D from Poor Righteous Teachers, or is that a different guy?
That's a good question. No, no, it's not the same Tony D. Different Tony D.
Okay. So
Idler's Records. Idler's Records. This was
so did thankfully I had the honor and privilege of being able to see you guys get inducted to the Hip Hop National Hip Hop Hall of Fame in DC. So
mhm.
if people haven't seen that video, watch that as well when you're done with this Mike G, get a little bit of their origin story in Africa and Mike G meeting each other and all that. But once you and Africa convinced your uncle Red Alert to really get down with you guys, what was that process like? Like, what was the turning point to where Red was like, oh, let's go in and make what ended up being Jimbrowski and get in the studio?
Well, I think he saw the promise. He saw we was writing rhymes. He saw that. I think he saw the promise. He saw the talent. Uh, we had a vision. He had a vision. I mean, I think there was authentic love for hip hop and doing what we were doing. But the process was, I guess, we did what did we do first? So first thing, well, actually, first he took us. The first place we actually went when we were working on trying to get a deal and everything, he took us to Jazzy J. Jazzy J had Strong City Studios up in the Bronx,
Mhm.
and we went there first. And but they were so busy. They gave us a little bit of time to work on something. We actually started this track called "It's the Breaks," but we never really got to finish it because it was like anytime we wanted to try to get in there, it was just you know it was busy. Busy B was hot at that time. I forget the other artist that was on that label at the time, but it was just busy. They had a lot going on. Um, Tony Red reached out to Tony D. He had time. He had he was kind of rolling at the time. Had Search, had a couple of different people, and we just went for it. It wasn't. I don't want to say it was a really big process. I think people hearing the promo, they were really there was the hunger was there. There was we had a built-in audience, and also from doing talent shows and stuff like that in high school. Um, People knew the market was still small to a certain extent. That the hip hop music market was still kind of small. It was a small community um, with everybody really searching and looking for the new thing.
Right.
But Red just believed, what I'm saying? That's the main thing. Red believed. Without his help, we probably, we'd still be doing something different or, you know, he was the start. He believed in what we were doing and he put us out there.
Okay. And with Jimbrowski, also it's got like that Mickey Mouse Club type of thing. So do you remember how or why you guys were like, oh, let's use Mickey Mouse for our song about our thing?
Nah, not really, man. Like I said, we were just trying to make it fun, catchy, and uh keeping it funky. You know what I'm saying? Keeping it funky and really just trying to have fun with it. You know what I mean? That was the main thing without being too like X-rated. you know.
Yes. Well, you pulled that off. Congratulations. And with the Red Alert, one thing I was always intrigued about too, and I've interviewed him many times, and I just always forgot to ask him, was with KRS-One having Jimmy also, and you guys both being under Red Alert, did he say, "Hey, I'm gonna do a song about Jimmy too," or did you guys tell him, or like how did you guys feel weird about it? Was it surprising? Like what happened with that?
No, it was actually like a super big shout out. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously Jimbrowski came out first.
Right.
BDP started rolling, and when he did Jimmy, that was like, oh snap! It's like he acknowledged. You know what I'm saying? And like he put a twist on it. You know what I'm saying? He turned it into like a message. Jimmy's wearing a hat, so it like really doubled down and it turned Jimbrowski into a classic. You know what I'm saying? Helped turn Jimbrowski into more of a classic, but it was dope. I mean, and to be affiliated, obviously not just with Red, but with KRS, it was it was excellent. You know what I'm saying? It's an excellent feeling. It was an excellent like alley oop, you know what I'm saying? It was dope.
Yeah, yeah. And again, one of the great things about the Boogie Down Productions Jimmy song was, to your point, making it about safe sex, but doing it in a way that was very imaginative
Yep.
and building off of what you guys had done. I just was always very impressed and intrigued at the inspiration or the lineage of that. So uh, always cool. And then I remember too on the Jimbrowski Bragging and Boasting 12-inch, you guys also had shouted out Felipe and Eric from Marseille, France. Do you remember who they were and why you guys shouted them out?
Hey.
Hmm?
Nah, I don't even remember. That was a long time ago.
Yes, it
Well,
was.
my main dude is my man Lucian, who I always shout out and still speak to this day, from France.
Okay. Well, no,
Yeah,
I was just curious.
good one. Yeah, you got a bag down here somewhere with all these questions.
Nah, man, when I've been listening and loving and studying your music since '87. So
Yeah,
I've
what's up, man? Thank you, thank you.
no, man, huge fan.